Hi guys, Movie Trim here. Today, I'm gonna explain a drama thriller movie called Knock Knock. Please support us with a like and a comment. That way you can help the channel grow. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The joyful family of married couple Evan and Karen, along with their two children Jake and Lisa, is seen at the beginning of the film. Evan's wife and children are seen leaving for a family vacation. Evan can't go with them because of a physical therapy appointment related to a shoulder problem. The scene changes, revealing that Karen was a great artist. She hands over control of her sculpture, which needs to be transported to an art exhibition, to their assistant Louis. Then the three go, which leaves Evan home alone. Alone, he concentrates on his work. We unexpectedly hear the doorbell at night. Belle and Genesis, two young women, get there. And they claim to be looking for a party's address. However, they are lost because their phone died and they lack the direction. Evan was asked by the girl if they could enter. Evan confirms. Evan gives them access to the internet so they can contact the party's host. Evan offers to contact an Uber driver for them once they locate the correct address. However, it will take 45 minutes for the nearest driver to show up. The girl requested Evan to dry their wet cloth until the cab arrived. Evan confirms. The phones are then placed in a rice bag by Evan so they can dry. Evan offers them coffee to drink while the clothes dry. The girls then tune into music on his old vinyl records. Evan was a jockey before deciding to become an architect, it is revealed. His musical sense makes an impression on the girls. They share their work as flight attendants with Evan, as well as how they have sex with a different man in each place they fly to. The girls also inform him that it's okay to have an affair after marriage. Evan is uncomfortable. So, while waiting for the cab, he checks his phone. The cab ride took 20 minutes. Evan is asked by Belle if he gets bored after spending 14 years with a single girl. Evan responds by saying that he genuinely loves his wife. Genesis next uses the restroom. Evan is pushed to dance by Belle. Later, the cab shows up. Therefore, Evan grabs their dry clothing while Belle leaves to the restroom to phone Genesis. Even when he knocks on the door, they stay inside. Evan sees them in their naked body craving after him. Evan tries to persuade them to go, but they keep on insisting on staying. Later, they have Rumpy Pumpy. He assumes the girls must have departed when he wakes up alone the following morning, but instead, he sees them in the kitchen acting as though the house were their own. He offers to drive them back home. However, the girl responds, "We don't have a house." Then, Evan receives a call from his wife. He goes to the garden to answer the call. We can see the girls making fun of him in the background. He loses patience and warns them to leave or the cops will be called. The girl answers that he might go to jail for sleeping with a youngster. His physical therapist Vivian visits Evan. Seeing Genesis, Vivian storms out, believing Evan is having an affair with Karen. They agree to be driven home after Evan threatens to file a theft report. He leaves them in the fancy neighborhood where they apparently stay. Once he has dropped them off, he goes back home, cleans up the mess, and tries to concentrate on his work. He eventually hears a cracking sound. He discovers a family photo frame that is broken. Genesis strikes him quickly from behind. Later, he discovers himself bound to the bed, with Belle wearing his daughter's school uniform and Genesis wearing his wife's clothes. Belle goes up on him and pretends to be a schoolgirl as she tries to awaken him. She persuades him as Genesis captures every moment. Later, he succeeds in freeing himself. He attacks Belle, knocking her to the ground. Genesis stabs him in his damaged shoulder as he approaches her. The two girls then use an electrical cord to bind him to a chair. Later, Louis shows up to pick up the sculpture Karen had given him care of. Using Evan's phone, the girls text Louis to let him know his niece and her friend are staying with them. Evan is kept hidden in a room, and his lip is taped. Louis discovers the damaged sculpture. Hears Evan suddenly screaming for rescue. He tries to free him, but the girl can be heard destroying the damaged sculpture. While he does so, he chases after them to stop them, but has an asthma attack instead. He sees that the girl stole his inhaler. While attempting to fetch it, he trips over a piece of the sculpture and hits his head on the edge, causing his death. They later create a sculpture out of Louis's body. Later, the girl used Evan and Louis's phones to send a message, creating the impression that Evan was having an affair with Louis's wife. And as a result he killed Louis. The girls then prepare Evan's burial in the backyard. Genesis interjects Evan trying to phone his wife. Evan tries to persuade them to release him. Genesis releases him after giving him 30 seconds to find cover. They will leave his home if they can't find him before dawn. When he hears it, he tries to hide, but Genesis finds him and imprisons him with a gun. They tie him up with a hose the following morning. Then bury him in the pit, only his head remaining visible. Genesis then selects a sculpture and acts as though he was going to be struck in the head and killed. However, she strikes a little bit farther away from his head, which frightens Evan. The females admit that they had been watching him for several days while he was away. They also say that they would have left the house if he hadn't become intimate with them, showing that it was all a game, that they are skilled at getting fathers into situations like this and checking their truthfulness. Genesis then plays the intimate video of him and Belle that she had earlier taken with Evan's phone. Evan, who is helpless, sees as she posts it to his Facebook profile. Evan's life is spared and they eventually exit from his home. Karen and the kids get home to find the house completely wrecked. Evan's youngster says that his dad had a party. Evan is able to move his hands at the same time. He attempts to remove the video from his Facebook account, but by mistake likes it instead, and the film ends. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.